Okay. So I do not want to stress much time here because you are not, you're telling majority of you are not familiar with this topic. This electric field intensity is the region surrounded by a unit positive charge. Okay. Your electric flux density is flux per unit area, and the relation between electric flux density to electric field intensity is d bar is equal to epsilon into g bar. Okay, d bar is equal to epsilon into g bar, where epsilon is the permittivity of free space or air or vacuum. Epsilon naught value is equal to 8.85 into 10 to the power of minus 12 farad per meter. Okay. Let me directly enter into the circuit theory by again the field theory. So why he is telling in the beginning means your electric field is nothing but your voltage in the network theory. It is analogous to your magnetic flux, your magnetic field intensity is nothing but current. Your epsilon is nothing but C, your mu is L. Like that, your conductivity is related to sigma by rho is nothing but R. So like that, so many relations. Your half epsilon E square is nothing but half CV square. So like that, he is explaining the similarities. So nothing more than that. So apart from that, okay, we'll directly come to the network elements. We'll directly come to the network elements. So in the network elements, so resistor. Okay, I'll tell you one just a simple story regarding this resistor, inductor, and capacitor before starting this lecture. So is my voice audible, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. I'll tell you a simple story, like a family story. If you consider a family, so mother, father, two brothers, okay, sorry, one brother and two sisters. One brother and two sisters. Okay. So father is your voltage source, let us say, and mother is your current source. Both are sources. Okay. And resistor is brother, inductor and capacitor. Both are happen to be the sisters. Why I'm telling this one, I'll tell you. So if you want to have some money, to whom you will ask in general? If you want money, so tomorrow you have to pay the exam fees or something else, you want to go to a party with friends or something like that, whatever the reason. If you want to have some money, to whom you will ask?
Father.
Father. But sometimes few things you may not ask father. So majority of the times, if it is college fee or examination fee, something like that, or placement related fee or whatever, you can ask father very comfortably. So but you want to go to a movie with friends or something like that, okay, you want some 500 or 1000, then immediately to whom you will consult? In majority of the cases, of course, in some cases maybe father, in majority of the cases will approach to mother. Yes or no? So that means your voltage source is a source. It can deliver. It can produce the energy. Okay, you can take okay, from voltage source. Either you can get it from current source. That means either from father or mother. Okay, they are the sources. They will always give the money. That means here they are producing energy always. They will produce the power for our utilization. Remember, coming to resistor, inductor, and capacitor. Resistor I am comparing with brother. Why? See, resistor is always consuming the energy. Okay, resistor is always consuming the energy. Coming to inductor and capacitor, they may consume some energy, but they can store. So that means in generally, you just observe, this is general observation. Okay, it's only a general observation, not 100% true. Just for understanding purpose, I'm telling. In a house, let's say one sister and one brother. Generally, what they will do, if you give 1000 rupees to your brother, within no time he will spend that money within 1 or 2 days. Okay, coming to if you give some 1000 rupees to the same to sister, then what she will do, she may spend some money, but definitely she can store somewhere else. Okay, she can store that. So that's the reason why I am comparing this one. So inductor means it can store the energy in the case of magnetic field of Li square. Capacitor means it can store the energy in the form of electric field of CV square. Okay, inductor means magnetic field of Li square. Capacitor means of CV square, electric field, but resistor, it never stores the energy. It only dissipates the energy. I square R. Dissipates the energy. Your power is I square R. Your energy is I square R into T. So that's why. So that means if you give some money to the sister, what she will do? She can save some money in Andhra Bank. Let's say, okay, in ICICI Bank. Another sister, capacitor. Okay, it can store the money maybe in another some SBI bank or something like that. Some means, so capacitor can store the energy in the form of electric field. Inductor can store energy in the form of magnetic field. So this is just network theory is the story of a family of 5 members. That means family of 5 elements. Voltage source like a father, current source like a mother, resistor is like a brother, inductor and capacitor is like the sisters. Their behavior, that is the theory, that is the network theory or circuit theory. All together is a circuit. That circuit theory we are studying. That's what. Okay. Now do you understand this example? Now we'll go to the topic. Okay. Right. See, this Jc is equal to sigma E. This is there in your field theory. This is called Ohm's law. This is also Ohm's law. This is point form of Ohm's law. Similar to that, in our circuit theory, we're having V is equal to I into R. What is R? R is nothing but rho L by A. What is rho? What is rho here?
Resistivity.
Resistivity. L is the length of the conductor. A is the area of cross section. Okay. Okay. See. So your length is a physical parameter. Your area of cross section is a physical parameter that you can cut. Your length may be doubled, area of cross section may be offed, something like that you can do. Then how the resistivity can be changed? You can adjust your length and you can adjust your area of cross section. But what about the resistivity? How you can change the resistivity? See, resistance can be changed by the parameters called length and area of cross section. You know about the length. You can increase the length, you can decrease the length. You know about the area of cross section. You can change the area of cross section. What about the resistivity? What about resistivity? See, anybody is there in the class or not? If you do not know means at least tell me that I can continue.
No, sir.
Okay, resistivity can be changed by only by changing the material. You can't change its property. Its property of the material is fixed. So copper resistivity is fixed. Iron resistivity is fixed. What about steel or whatever? That resistivity is fixed. That is only the nature of the material. It can't be changed by changing the physical parameters. If you want to change the resistivity, you have to change the material. There is no other options. Okay, these are the factors. These are the factors rho LA based upon which you can change the resistance. Okay, resistivity, length of the conductor and area of cross section. Now here. Okay, this is a symbol of resistance. Okay, this is a symbol of resistance. Okay, generally entering terminal we can call as the positive and leaving terminal we will call as the negative. That is only our assumption. Okay. Active element and passive element, linear element and non-linear element. Now, what do you mean by active element, passive element, linear element and non-linear element? Okay. Voltage source is active element. Current source is a active element. Your resistor, passive element. Your inductor, passive element. Capacitor, passive element. How? Can anybody know this? Because if it is a source, it is active element. It can produce energy. It can produce the power, thereby it can produce energy. Coming to the passive element, it consumes energy. Your resistor, inductor or capacitor, they have to consume the energy. They are called the passive elements. They are the passive elements. What do mean by linear element and what do you mean by non-linear element? What do you mean by linearity, non-linearity? Do you have any idea? So in general, linear characteristics means in circuit theory, but physically I'll tell you and circuit theory wise I will tell you. First I'll tell you the physical example, later we'll come to the circuit theory. So in maybe your 9th standard, I think, when the geometry introduced, right? Maybe 9th standard. I'll tell you that y is equal to mx. It's a linear or non-linear line. Y is
Linear.
equal to mx. Is it a linear line or non-linear line?
Linear, sir.
How can you tell y is equal to mx is a linear line?
It passes through origin.
Okay. Whatever may be the line that passes through origin, is it a linear line? Then y is equal to x square. It is passing through origin. Is it linear or non-linear?
Non-linear, sir.
Then why? It is also passing through the origin. So the answer correct, but the reason whatever you told is not exactly relevant. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So what is the answer for this one? What is a linearity? What is a non-linearity? Maybe in 9th standard itself you might have this one, your geometry. Can anybody tell? Okay, let me tell you.
The changes in input
Yeah.
will be reciprocated in the output in the same way.
Yes, of course. That means your output should be proportional to the input. I'll give you the simple example, y is equal to x and y is equal to x square. The y is equal to x. If x is equal to 1, y is equal to 1. X is equal to 2, y is equal to 2. X is equal to 3, y is equal to 3. So like that. Simple linear relation. Coming to y is equal to x square. When x is equal to 1, y is equal to 1. But when x is equal to 2, y is equal to 4. When x is equal to 3, y is equal to 9. When x is equal to 4, y is equal to 16. Is there any linear proportionality is there? One is 1, one is 4, 9, 16. So completely in a random order, yes or no? 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. All the differences are same. But here, if you calculate the differences, entirely different. Yes or no? That's what the linearity. Linearity means always your output follows the input. Non-linearity. Your output may not follow your input. Let's say y is equal to x square or y is equal to x square plus 2x plus 2. Or you can write any equation, any non-linear equation, your square equation, cubic equation. Several of such equations, they are called the non-linear equations. So don't be under impression that if one particular equation passing through the origin, it is a linear, not passing through the origin, it is not non-linear. The concept of linearity is different. The concept of linearity means the proportionality to your output to the input. Okay, good. At least few people familiar. Well, like that you can have, if you go to the subject called signals and system, you know, all these things. Okay, x1 of t, simple equation. If you write whether it is linear or non-linear, simply I'll tell you if you have any equation, whether they want to tell whether it is linear or non-linear in simple sense. Of course, there are many methodologies. In simple tenses, you substitute input value, get the output value like that. Go to the set of values, at least 2 or 3 values. By that you can tell whether it is linear or non-linear. Not more engineering terminology is not much required. Simple mathematics is enough to tell that. Of course, there are much more things to tell, but that is a simple way to tell, right? What is a unilateral and bilateral? What is a unilateral and bilateral? Anybody? The term itself is suggesting us unilateral, bilateral. Unilateral means current can be allowed to flow in one direction only. That is called unilateral element. That particular element is called unilateral element. Let's say diode. So diode is a unilateral or bilateral? Diode is unilateral or bilateral?
Unilateral, sir.
Why? Why?
When it is forward biased, we can find the
When it is
forward biased, we can find the change in
that's
current.
what simple. Exactly that point we need to tell. When it is forward biased, only current will flow. In the opposite direction, it will be reverse biased, yes or no? In one direction it is, in one way it is forward bias means, in opposite way of course it is reverse bias. Reverse bias means infinite resistance, more or less very high resistance, it won't allow. That's the simple logic. So coming to resistor, it can be a load in any direction, same as in the case of inductor or capacitor. They are the bilateral elements. Why I am telling this unilateral bilateral means, so when we are discussing about the theorems, superposition theorem in a linear active bilateral network, what is linearity, what is active, what is bilateral? We discussed what is the linearity. We discussed what is active and what is positive. We are discussing what is unilateral and bilateral. Okay, that's why we are discussing. Anyhow, we will go to the theorems in the coming classes. So again, I do not explain all these things. What is a unilateral, what is a linearity, and all these things. That's what. Okay, based upon that elements, whether it is unilateral or bilateral. Resistor is independent of frequency, of course. Resistor can allow any sudden changes in both currents and voltages, unlike your inductor and capacitor. Okay, do you know about what is power factor, cos pi? What is a power factor? Okay, power factor is the cosine of angle between voltage and current. Okay, power factor is the cosine of angle between cos pi. This pi is the angle between V and I. So that means you just consider an example. A simple R circuit. What is its power factor for a simple R circuit? For a simple R circuit, what is the power factor?
1.
Why?
Because
Because your answer is correct. I want the explanation.
The voltage
anybody in
and
the class?
current are in same phase, sir.
there
Exactly.
is no resistive load, sir.
More resistive load. The answer was one of your friend told. Both voltage and current are in phase in the case of resistor. That's the point. That's the actual point. Whether it is resistive load, then what happened? Though it is a resistive load, the property is your voltage and current both are in phase. There is no angle difference between your voltage and current. So cos pi, cos 0 is 1. In the case of RL load, what is the power factor? See, in the case of RL load, tan pi is equal to XL by R. Your pi is equal to tan inverse of XL by R. Your cos of tan inverse XL by R is the power factor. All of you must have pen and paper. You just follow accordingly. Once again, I'm repeating. In the case of RL circuit, your power factor is pi is equal to cos of tan inverse XL by R. In the case of RC circuit, pi is equal to tan inverse XC by R. Your power factor is equal to cos of tan inverse XC by R, where X is equal to 1 by omega C, where XL is equal to L omega. That calculation that you can do it later. So that's what. So that means if it is a pure resistive circuit, only your power factor is 1. In the case of inductor, you will have some power factor based upon your XL and R values. In the case of RC circuit, you will have power factor, okay, based upon the values of XC and R. Your RL circuit is having lagging power factor. Your RC circuit is having leading power factor. If you tell if it is a lagging means current is lagging defaultly. If it is a leading means current is leading. Current is leading in the case of capacitive circuits. Current is lagging in the case of inductive circuits. Remember this point forever. It's a fundamental principle if you are dealing with circuit theory. Okay. All of you clear till this point, or any more discussions? Shall we go to the next topic? All these are fundamentals.
Sir,
let me
can you
see.
please explain?
Yeah.
I mean, like, can you please give the formula for this RL circuit, sir? Power factor.
Can you repeat? Can I give
Formula for power factor of RL
the case
circuit.
of right? Cos pi, right? Pi is equal to tan inverse of xc by r. So cos of tan inverse xc by r.
RL, sir. RL.
RL. Cos of tan inverse xl by r. Right? Shall
Yes,
I
sir.
proceed? Nothing is there means I can proceed. Yes, the next important term is power. So power is equal to, if it is a DC source, power P is equal to V into I, which is equal to I square R, and also can be written as V square by R. Okay. Power is equal to V into I, which is equal to I square R, which is equal to V square by R. Do you know this, right? How can we written in terms of I square R and how can we written in terms of V square by R? I do not want to explain. Simple. You can replace I by V by R, or else you can replace V by IR. So you can obtain these two formulas. This is dissipated power or absolute power. Coming to the AC source, your power is equal to V of t into I of t, which is nothing but Vrms into Irms into cos of angle between these two. What is these two? Your voltage and current. Cos pi. Pi is the angle between V and I. So finally you are having Vrms into Irms into cos pi. That's what the formula. Okay. So why we are considering RMS power in the case of AC? Why simple power in the case of DC? Can anybody tell? Do you have any idea? Can anybody? It's a very simple phenomenon.
Sir, can you please repeat the question?
My question is, in the case of DC, your power is equal to V into I, which is equal to I square R, which is equal to V square by R simply. But in the coming to AC, we are dealing with RMS power. In the case of DC, simple V into I. In the case of AC, why VRMS into IRMS? Can anybody? Okay, let me tell you. See, your DC power is a constant line. Always it is on the positive side. What is your AC power? Just like a sinusoidal symbol or cos symbol or sine symbol. Sometimes it is having positive off cycle, next it is having negative off cycle, positive peak, negative peak. By chance, if you go for average value, your average value will be 0. Whatever may be the positive area, the equal negative area will be there. So ultimately your total power happened to be 0. So that is the reason why in the case of AC, we'll go to RMS value, which is root mean square value. Okay. So RMS value will have the integration of from 0 to t, integration of 1 by time period 0 to t, that integration that we will do. So that means root mean square means root mean square. If you square whether it is positive or negative, you will have the magnitude only. You're squaring again, you are rooting that value. Okay. That's why we will go to AC power is RMS. Coming to the inductor. Inductance is a property of a coil. Okay. Your flux linkages is proportional to current. Your L is equal to N pi by I. Okay. Your L is equal to N pi by I, which is called the inductor. So in the case of inductor, your voltage across inductor is equal to V is equal to L into di by dt, and current is equal to I is equal to, here it is not mentioned. Okay, you can write your I is equal to, anyhow I'm going to share this material to you. Your current I is equal to 1 by L into integral V dt. Okay, V is equal to L into di by dt, and your I is equal to 1 by L into integral V dt. So that you can write in the terms of Laplace elements, your V is equal to L into S of I of S. So always, oh, this expression is already there. Just now I thought it was not there. I is equal to 1 by L into integral VL of dt. All of you just remember this fundamental point of inductor. Inductor does not allow sudden change in current, but it can allow sudden change in voltage. Again, I'm repeating the statement. Inductor does not allow sudden change in current, but it allows sudden change in voltage. It is exactly converse to capacitor. Here itself I am telling to the capacitor. Anyhow, next step we'll go to that. Where capacitor doesn't allow sudden change in voltage, but it can allow sudden change in current. They're exactly what I can say, converse in nature. Okay, your inductor is on one side, capacitor is of other side. Your inductor dealing with the magnetic field, your capacitor is dealing with the electric field. So like that. So inductor does not allow sudden change in current, but whereas your capacitor will allow the sudden change in current. So they are exactly. They are complement in nature. They are exactly complement in nature. So why they will not, they do not allow sudden change in current. So where V is equal to L into dA by dt, sudden change in current is allowed means when dA by dt is infinite value, which is not possible. Same true in the case of capacitor. Okay. Your inductor can be represented like a current source like this. Okay. Inductor can be represented a current source like this. So I already mentioned just now 10 minutes back, you are always in the case of conductor, sorry, in the case of inductor, your current lags the voltage. In pure inductor, it lags exactly by 90 degrees. Simple formula. Your pi is equal to tan inverse of XL by R, right? If it is pure inductor, your resistance is 0. R by 0. Sorry, XL by R. R is 0. XL by 0. So infinite, tan inverse of infinity is 90 degrees. That's what. Energy storage capability of Li square. I already told you it is stored energy in the form of magnetic field, which is of Li square. Your energy stored. So this topic we will discuss in the case of transients. Okay, when the switch is moved, when t is equal to 0 or t is equal to 0 plus, it is not now. If I tell now also, you will not understand all these things, all these expressions, transients, all these things I will explain at the time of transients. Okay, here he mentioned directly, but we will discuss at transients. Okay, so here we will solve a simple question. Okay, so this question is based upon the previous gate question. This question is based upon the topic till now covered. Figure shows the current flowing through the inductor. This particular figure, this is visible, right? Is it visible screen?
Yes, sir.
Right. This figure shows the current flowing through an inductor of a resistance 1 ohm. Okay. This is the 1 ohm resistor. This is the current flowing through that. The current is flowing in this way. So till 0 to 2, it is like a ramp signal. After that, it is a step signal, again decreasing ramp. So like that, it's a linear signal. So like that, he mentioned I of t is equal to 3t. This is like y is equal to mx till 0 to 2. After that, I of t is equal to simply 6 from 2 to 4 seconds, and I of t is equal to, this slope is equal to -3 means -3t. The case of this one. Okay. Now we have to determine the energy stored of the inductor. So what is the energy stored in the inductor? What is the energy stored in the inductor? Energy stored in the inductor is of Li square. Yes or no? So energy stored in the inductor is of Li square. Then what we will do? So we will go 0 to 2 seconds, 2 to 4 seconds, 4 to 6 seconds. Yes or no? We have to, it should be a definite integrals. Integral limits are different. Directly, can we proceed till 0 to 6 or 0 to 2, 2 to 4 and 4 to 6? Can anybody?
We should take intervals, sir.
Intervals. Why? Because your waveform from 0 to 2 is different, 2 to 4 is different, and 4 to 6 is different. These three are different things, right? And what is the equation here? 0 to 2. Just first find out the simple slope. So this is a 0 comma 0 and this element is 2 comma 0. Just find out the slope. Slope is, what is the slope? Okay, this element is, sorry, 2 comma 6. What is the slope? Y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. The slope is 3. Okay. Just the slope is nothing but dy by dx, change in y coordinates to the change in x coordinates. Here 0 comma 0 and here it is 2 comma 6. In that way you can find out the slope here. This is a constant line 6. So it will be 6 always. And this is with a negative slope of minus 3. Then you can find out the equation. What is the equation? Always your equation is point slope form. Y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. Do you remember this? Maybe in the 9th class geometry. Okay. What is the 9th class geometry? What we have seen, point slope form. If you have the point and if you have the slope, you can write that equation. You have one point like here. You have slope of this equation. You can write the equation. This equation is nothing but 3t. And this equation is nothing but 6. And this equation is nothing but, you can write this equation. That means if you want to write this equation, this point is 4 comma 6 and this point is 6 comma 0. Then you can find out this equation, something like minus 3t plus 2 or something. So whatever. Finally, so what we have to do? Your I of t. Okay. Your I of t in the first case is nothing but 3t, which is square is 90 square. Okay, 90 square, and the limits are from 0 to 2. Half into your inductance value is 2. 1 by 2 into 2 will get cancelled. This expression from 0 to 2, it is 24 joules. Next, in the case of part B. Okay. In the case of part B, same. This is 36. Okay. Simply 6 square 36. Whatever may be the limits, you can keep it as side. 36 into integration of dt is t. Upper limit is 4, lower limit is 2. 4 minus 2, it is 2. 36 into 2, 72. The case of part C, you apply the same thing. This equation, square of it, and upper limit minus lower limit. It is nothing but 24 joules. So what is the question? Determine the energy stored by the inductor up to the first 6 seconds and determine the energy absorbed by the inductor up to first 6 seconds. So whether it is, finally we calculated the energy. Okay, 120 joules. We calculate the energy, but whether it is energy stored or energy absorbed. Whether it is energy stored or energy absorbed. So pure inductor can store the energy. It is not pure inductor. Okay, inductor followed by a resistor. So only energy stored is 0. Okay, energy, it can't store the energy. He has mentioned clearly, you have seen 1 ohm and 2 Henry. The moment the resistor is there, everything can be dissipated with the inductor. So everything is absorbed or dissipated. In the case of it is called absorbed. So your 120 is correct, but it is absorbed. Your stored is 0. The moment you have the resistor, it won't store. So similar to that, anyhow, I am going to share this material. So similar type of the question, the voltage and current characteristics of an element is shown in figure. The nature of the value of an element, that is based upon your I, V is equal to L into dA by dt, and your I is equal to 1 by L into integral of P dt. Here you have to calculate that equation value. Here the coordinates, it is identified, it is 0, 0, it is 2, 0, 2, 20. So based upon that you can calculate and get the value. Okay, next I'll go to the next topic called the capacitor. Okay. The term capacitor or condenser, one based upon the one fundamental principle. There we are speaking about the inductor. While we are speaking about the inductor, we'll speak about the current. Okay, or flux lines is proportional to the current. Yes or no? So here we are speaking about the voltage. When you are speaking about the capacitor, we have to speaking about the voltage. The charge dissipated on capacitor at any moment is proportional to the voltage applied across it. You just draw a capacitor and you can check this is a capacitor, the charge dissipated on it. The charge dissipated on a capacitor is always proportional to the voltage applied to it. Q is proportional to V, Q is equal to CV. This particular constant is called your capacitance. C is the capacitance. If you change the voltage or current, the capacitance value will never change. Capacitance will depends upon the physical parameters called as your C is equal to epsilon A by D. Your C is equal to epsilon A by D. Your C is equal to epsilon A by D, where epsilon is the permittivity of the medium. If it is a free space or air or vacuum, it is epsilon naught, whose value is equal to 8.85 into 10 to the power of minus 12 farad per meter. You can write, I think it is not mentioned here somewhere. Okay, you can write. If it is air, it is a pure air or vacuum. The C is equal to epsilon naught A by D. That epsilon naught is the permittivity of free space, whose value is equal to 8.85 into 10 to the power of minus 12 farad per meter. So based upon these physical parameters of area of cross section and distance between the parallel plate capacitors, your capacitance will change. Of course, it is a linear element and bilateral in nature. Okay, so similar to your inductance, one more point I want to mention here. Your inductive reactance XL is equal to L into omega. So L into 2 pi f. Omega is 2 pi f. So your resistor is independent of frequency, but your inductor is dependent on frequency. Your XL is equal to L into omega, L into 2 pi f. Coming to the capacitor, your XC is equal to 1 by omega C, where omega is 2 pi f. So your XC is equal to 1 by 2 pi fc. Okay, this is also dependent upon the frequency. That's what he mentioned, 1 by j omega c. 1 by j is minus j. So in the case of capacitance, X is equal to minus omega c, we have to write. Okay, because susceptance is negative in the case of capacitor. So that's the reason why R plus jXL, but R minus jXC. If you want to write series RL circuit for a AC circuit, RL means R plus jXL, where XL is the inductive reactance. For series RC circuit, R minus jXC, because 1 by j is minus j. This is exactly complement in nature to your inductor, where your inductor current leads. Sorry, where in the case of inductor, current lags, voltage leads. In the case of capacitor, current leads, voltage lags exactly by 90 degrees. So this is your Laplace element. Of course, this regarding these Laplace elements, we will discuss in the coming transients. Last topic, action of the capacitor. VC of 0 plus VC of 0 minus. It doesn't allow sudden changes in voltage, but it allows sudden changes in current. So VC of 0 plus, instant before and instant after, just instant before and just instant after, your voltage are same. All these topics are related to your transients, there we will discuss. And energy stored is half CV square. Okay. Of course, this is related to your transients. If I explain here also, you do not understand that responses, that everything that we will discuss in the case of transients only. it will behaves like a voltage source. Fully charged capacitor behaves like a voltage source. Fully charged inductor behaves like a current source. Remember this point. Your ammeter, voltmeter. I'll tell this point and we will conclude for today. So tomorrow we'll go for. So how many of you are there? Slowly, people are reducing. Right. So is it okay till now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Next one is ammeter and voltmeter. I'll tell you about this one. Anyhow, regarding your ammeter and voltmeter, you will have in the subject called measurements. But okay, very few basics I'll give here. Okay, so before giving the basics, let me pose you a few questions because you have performed many labs till now. It in everywhere in majority of the labs you will use ammeter and voltmeter. So that's why I want to pose you a few questions. In the circuit, we have to connect ammeter in the series or in the parallel. In any circuit, generally we'll connect ammeter in series or in parallel.
Series.
Series. Voltmeter?
Parallel to load.
Parallel, right. Why ammeter is in series, voltmeter is in parallel? Why? Because we have to measure current through that element through ammeter. So we have to connect in series. In series, current is same. We have to measure the potential difference across that particular element. So we have to connect voltmeter in parallel. In parallel, voltages are same. That is the reason. And one more thing. So in ammeter, internal resistance is connected in series or in parallel. Anybody? In ammeter, then ammeter itself, in the ammeter instrument, internal resistance is connected in series or in parallel. Your internal resistance, a small resistance, is connected in parallel. In the case of voltmeter, internal resistance is connected, high resistance is connected in series. Please remember these two. Ammeter is connected in series, but inside ammeter, a resistance, a small resistance is connected in parallel. Okay. Voltmeter is connected in parallel, but a series high resistance is connected in series to it. Okay. And this is the last topic by that I'll conclude for the today one. Dependent source and independent source. Okay. Dependent source and independent source. What is dependent source and what is independent source? Let's say 5 volts voltage source represent like this. The positive plate, negative plate, 5 voltage source. It is dependent source or independent source? Just 5 volts, a source, whether it is dependent or independent. It's a pure independent source. But it will be like this. Vs is equal to K into Vx. This is dependent. What is the dependency? This Vs source is depends upon K times of Vx. Okay. Based upon this K is 2 means 2 into that Vx. K is 3 means 3 into Vx. This is not fixed value. This is depends upon another parameter. Whenever your values are depending on other parameter, they are called the dependent sources. They are 4 in nature. Voltage dependent voltage source, current dependent current source, voltage dependent current source, current dependent voltage source. What do you mean by voltage dependent voltage source? This is the example. Your voltage is depends upon another voltage. Current dependent current source. Your Is is equal to some T into some Kx. Okay. That means this current depends upon another current. Voltage dependent current source. That is actually current source that is depends upon another voltage. Based upon another voltage, it will get effect. So like that, you will have the 4 voltage dependent voltage source, current dependent current source, voltage dependent current source, current dependent voltage source. You just repeat it. This is a voltage source depends upon the current. Current dependent voltage source. This is current source depends upon the current. Current depend current source. This is current source depends upon the voltage. Voltage depend current source. This is a voltage source, depends upon the voltage. Voltage dependent voltage source. These are the 4 examples of dependent sources. Okay, tomorrow we will enter into this topic. Okay, first day, if I tell everything, you may not understand. Okay, let me give some gap and slowly I'll tell all the topics. Okay. Now tell me if you have any doubts. I'm ready to answer. If you have any doubts related to these topics, today's topics, you can post me a question, then I can reply you. So my advice is always you must have one notes, pen and paper at least. If you have separate notes, that is good. Day today, 9th March, network theory. So what are the topics? Network theory or circuit theory, whatever. So what are the topics that we have seen today? Okay, you can write that one. So anyhow, I'll share these notes maybe within 1 or 2 days. Meanwhile, the topics wise, you just go through, and if you have any doubt, you can write that point and you can ask me at the end of session or in between. Also, you can interrupt. I don't mind. If it is a genuine doubt, you can represent at any time. Okay. Shall I wind up today for today, or do you have any doubts? Slowly we'll increase the time. Okay. Slowly we'll start by 5:30, 5:35. Only within 5 minutes. Please try to join, and we can continue till 7 o'clock slowly. Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Right. Shall I close my session for today's lecture?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Today I recorded this lecture. So with the permission of the Rajendra Nayak sir, I can share to you. Sir called me today, the beginning of our time. He told, by that time, just now the lecture started. By that time he called and told me, sir, try to record the lecture. So I recorded this one. Okay, right. Now we'll meet in the. Do you know about the schedules? Right, every day you have the class 5:30 to 7, and Sundays also there 10:30 to 12. That updates I'll give you through the WhatsApp group. Okay, so the people really interested to go through the gate classes, please try to attend the sessions. Right, I'm leaving. Thank you.